Hi, this is Janice from Space to Relax, and the video you're about to watch is a replay of a live class I taught on Zoom. These classes are free of charge for everyone to join, so please invite your family and friends. They're suitable for beginners and those of you with more Qigong experience. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I hope you enjoy the class. You're very welcome to the class today, everyone. And today's class is all about how to use Qigong in order to increase the strength of our bones, really working around bone density. Now, I have made a previous video on how to use Qigong if you've received a diagnosis of osteoporosis or osteopenia. But this class today isn't for people who've already received that as a diagnosis. This is for anyone to practice. So the sooner that we can become aware of how important it is to practice weight-bearing exercises, which are very well known to strengthen our bones, then the more chance we have of our bones staying strong, not becoming more porous and more brittle as we get older. So this class is equally as beneficial to you if you've been diagnosed with osteoporosis, but also for someone who is in their 20s and very fit and very healthy and has no issues with their bones right now. So it's for everybody. So in terms of osteoporosis, basically all that means is that your bones, as they get older, as we get older, they start to lose a little bit of their strength and then become more brittle. So we become more at risk of breaking bones if we happen to fall. So in terms of Qigong and Chinese medicine, it usually involves the kidney system, perhaps also the liver and the spleen system as well. But the kidneys are very closely connected with the function and the strength of the bones and the bone marrow from a Chinese medicine point of view. So some of the previous classes that I taught, the Qigong winter routines, part 1 and 2, work very much around the kidney system, so they would tie in very well with this routine today. So there are really kind of 3 major elements of Qigong practice surrounding our bone health and what we can do to improve and really improve our bone density and slow down the loss of any bone material and bone tissue. So the first one revolves around our posture. Our posture is very important, so we'll start with that. The second one is around weight bearing, and weight bearing exercise means actually putting your bones under some kind of pressure. When they're put under the pressure of our own weight or actually lifting weights, then that can help to improve their strength. So other exercises which might be helpful in terms of weight bearing would be things like walking, running, jogging, lifting weights, practicing Qigong or yoga or Tai Chi. But things like, say, swimming wouldn't be classed as a weight-bearing exercise, even though it's a really great exercise in and of itself. It's not a weight-bearing exercise. So in terms of your exercise routine, there should be some element of weight-bearing in there. So that's the second thing. And the third aspect of really helping to not really improve our bone density, but more prevent us from having falls, which could then, if our bones are brittle, could then make it more likely that our bones would break or crack, is balance. If we have good balance, then we're less likely to fall and get into trouble with any kind of bone issues then. So there are the 3 elements. So we're going to start with the first one, and that is posture. Now, if I turn sideways onto you, you'll see that when I stand up, I want to be standing straight. I don't want to be leaning forward. So I want to be upright, especially in my spine, the whole of the length of my spine. So this posture of bending forwards, and you see a lot of elderly people where they become more stooped as their bones start to lose mass. They become more stooped, they can't support themselves as well. And what can happen there is that the bones of the spine can actually, with this forward stooping movement, they can actually become more compressed. And you can end up with little compression fractures, especially in the thoracic vertebrae, so kind of up in the kind of mid and upper part of the back. You can end up with the bones of the spine becoming squashed, especially the kind of front part of the spine getting squashed and compressed, and that can cause little kind of micro fractures. So we want to be upright. We want to be in this lovely upright posture. So many of you know from practicing Qigong with me that we always start with the Qigong stance, and I go over and over and over it. And some of you will be sick hearing me going on about the Qigong stance, but the reason I do that is that it's so important. So just starting with the stance now, really to get our posture in the best possible position, we want to look down at the feet and check that the toes are pointing straight ahead, so not out to the sides, not inwards. So the feet are parallel. Feel as though you've got really good grounding going on there. So you want contact of the soles of the feet with the ground, with the floor, and you want to feel as though the heels and the balls of the feet have an even weight distribution on both of them. So equally kind of 50-50. So really feel that contact. You may want to just sway gently backwards and forwards, keeping your feet solidly on the ground, and find a lovely kind of central position where the weight is evenly distributed, not too far forwards, not too far back. Now there's a little micro bend in the knees, so you're not locking out the knees. And then what you want to do is tuck the tailbone under. So what I mean by that, again, if I stand on the to the side, is you don't want to be, you don't want your tailbone to be sticking out this way like that. You want the tailbone to tuck under. So the pelvis tucks under and forwards. And then you give a little lift here, just in the lower abdomen. So it's this motion, almost as though everything's tucking under at the back and pulling up a little bit at the front. And as you feel that lift up, you lift right up through the torso, up through the chest area as well. And immediately you can see as I do that from this position, as I tuck in and under, I get a little bit taller. And you should feel that lovely elevation yourself. And then what you want to also do is check that there's lovely length in the back of the neck. So again, you don't want the neck to be too far forwards, too far backwards. You want the chin to be tucked towards the throat. So if I give you an example, you don't want to be up like this or down like this. You want the head to be looking straight ahead and the chin tucking back towards the throat. As you tuck the chin back, you feel that lovely length in the back of the neck. So that's your posture. That is the first element of really helping to promote good bone health, because by having this posture, you're promoting and opening up all the channels of qi flow throughout the whole body. There's no areas where everything is compressed or squashed. You're just creating this lovely length throughout the whole spine, throughout the front of the body, and just feeling really solid on the ground. So already just standing like this is an exercise in and of itself. Just close the eyes for a moment. The tongue rests against the roof of the mouth and the tip of the tongue rests against the back of the upper teeth. Breathe in and out through the nose. As you breathe in, the belly expands as though you're blowing up an imaginary balloon inside your lower abdomen. And as you breathe out, the belly shrinks. So again, thinking of your posture from the feet, the contact of the soles of the feet with the ground, the micro bend in your knees, the tailbone tucked under, lifting up very gently in the lower abdominal area. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Lengthen the back of the neck by tucking the chin back towards the throat. feel nice and tall, as though the top of your head is being pulled up to the sky by an imaginary string. So feel that lovely extension from the feet, traveling up all the way through your body to the top of your head. And then just gently opening the eyes so you can see me. The second aspect of helping to maintain our bone density in terms of Qigong is weight bearing. So in this position, as you're standing here right now, just with me, follow along. So arms nice and relaxed, give them a little shake out. Little bend in the knees. And now just lift the arms, palms are facing towards the floor, backs of the hands facing up to the sky, lifting to about shoulder height. If you can't go that far, don't worry, just go as far as you can without going into pain. And then as you come back down, palms coming towards the floor, just sinking in the knees a little. Feeling the weights transferring down into the feet. And then at the very end of this movement with the hands, just allow the fingers to point down towards the ground. And that downwards pointing of the fingers helps to allow the chi to flow down through the legs. It's almost like you're pointing down and saying, get down a little bit further into the feet and really feel that sinking of the weight. Remember, we're talking about weight bearing here. So again, lift the hands. And as you lift the hands, just come up slightly in the knees, not locking the knees out, but just getting a little bit taller. And then sinking in the knees, dropping the shoulders, dropping the hands, fingers point down towards the ground, feeling that contact of the soles of the feet with the ground. Now with the breath, inhale to come up, dropping the shoulders, exhale to come down. Inhale, and the breath is in and out through the nose. Exhale. Now stay facing forward. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see the movement of the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, getting a little taller. Exhale, sinking in the knees. And just keep going like that for a few more rounds in your own time. Inhale, exhale. And if you feel happy with this movement, close the eyes and really feel into it. And feel as you sink the weight down, feel that the whole of the weight of your body bearing down into your legs, into your knees, ankles, feet. And one more time. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed and not forgetting to smile. And now just allow the hands just to relax by your sides. And the next movement, again, is weight bearing. Some of you have done this with me before. So this is the 8th movement in the 8 pieces of brocade exercise. And it's called standing on tiptoes to rid 1,000 diseases. So this is weight bearing, but there's also a little bit of balance in there as well. So if you need to have a chair next to you to hold on to, if you feel your balance isn't so good, then hold on to the back of the chair, make sure it's nice and sturdy. Because what you're going to do now is just come up onto your tiptoes. And then as you drop back down, let everything go. So it's almost like you're falling back down onto your heels. So breathe in to come up. Breathe out. Drop back down into the heels. Breathe in to come up. And as you drop back down, feel the little vibrations running right from the backs of the legs and up the body through the spine. As you come up, make sure that when you're on the balls of the feet, that you're not turning the feet outwards. A lot of people turn out like this onto the outside edges of the balls of the feet. Focus on the balls, on the ball of the foot, just kind of behind the big toe, just to keep the weight spread evenly. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Breathing in. Really letting it all go down through the heels as you breathe out. And then just relax. Maybe just shake the feet out a little if you've been standing in the same position for a while. And now another nice weight bearing exercise. This is moving it up a little bit. So if you're not comfortable with this next exercise, then just continue with the coming up onto the tiptoes and back down as we were just doing there. Stepping out to the side now into a horse stance. So you want the knees to push out away from each other. You don't want the knees to fall in. This is very bad for the ligaments on the sides of on the outside edges of your knees. You want the knees to be out. So you already feel a lovely groin stretch here. Already in this position, your feet are still parallel. You should be able to feel some aspect of weight bearing going on. You could feel it here in the thighs. You could probably feel it all the way down the outside edges of the lower legs as well. So from here, put your hands on your hips and just open up the chest by pulling the elbows back, pull the shoulders back, feel that lovely openness. And again, tuck the tailbone under. So you have that idea of the tailbone tucking under, lifting up in the front, in the lower abdomen area here. This really keeps everything nice and firm around the core of your body, but you're still nice and relaxed. Now from this position, we're just going to very gently breathe in, lift one heel. Breathe out, drop the heel down. Breathe in, lift the other heel. Breathe out, drop the heel down. I'm not shifting my weight from one side of the other to the other. You see that my body stays upright. Breathe in, just coming onto the ball of the foot. Breathe out. So again, there's an element of balance here. Breathe in, coming up onto the other ball of the foot. And down. Breathe out. Keep the tailbone tucked under. One more to each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out down into the heel of that foot. Now a little test for the balance. So again, you might want to have a chair or just do one side or the other as we were just doing if you're not feeling quite up to it today. So lift both heels off the ground at the same time and breathe out, down into the heels. Two more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now very gently coming up and stepping the feet together. Nice and slowly now. And maybe give the legs a little shake out. So that was a little bit more weight bearing than the previous exercise. But as you can see, you can feel the weight. You can feel the weight of your body when you do these things. So these are all really great exercises to really help maintain bone density and keep it as good as it can be. So the third element of really minding our bone density is improving our balance. So I have taught a previous Qigong lesson on balance alone. So I'll put the link to that in the replay next to this video. And what we want to do in terms of balance is we want to improve our balance to such an extent that we minimize the risk of any fall. So any of you who have relatives who are maybe a little bit older, who have fallen, you know, and you will have experienced that if somebody who's a little bit older, whose bones maybe are not so strong, even a slight fall or a slight trip can cause quite a lot of damage. So if we can prevent that from happening in the first place, then all is good. So Qigong and Tai Chi both have a really good record for helping people who practice regularly to improve their balance and thereby minimize the risk of any falls. So there are loads and loads of balance exercises you can do, but this one I'm going to show you because it combines both balance and posture, which was the first element of how we can help to improve and maintain our bone density. So I'm going to turn sideways on so you can see what I'm doing for this one now. So I'm sideways on, and what we're going to do is we're going to just make sure we're in our Qigong stance, and then feet are shoulder width distance apart, and we're going to work with one arm by lifting the arm and then using the opposite leg and moving that one back. So I'll just show you first of all. So lifting the arm and moving the opposite leg back. The other hand just is loose by the side. And then, if you feel like you've got the balance to do it, lifting the back leg off the ground and coming back down. And then the arm comes back down. And now repeat with the other side, just to get feeling to the movement to begin with. So lifting, move the leg back. Now really here, squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back. And now lift. And come back down. So we'll do it with the breath now. So we're going to breathe in as the arm comes up and the leg goes back. Breathe out. And now breathe in again as the leg comes off the ground. And breathe out, back down. Other side. Breathe in, look up at the hand. Leg comes back. Breathe out. Breathe in, lift the leg. Breathe out, come back down. One more time to each side. Breathe in. Heel is off the ground, but the toes are on the ground for this part. Breathe out, get your balance. Breathe in. Pulling the shoulder blades back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Get your balance. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then just shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. So you can repeat that as many times as you feel able. And what you probably noticed there, as I did, is that your balance is much better on one side than it is on the other. We seem to have a lot more strength usually in one leg than the other side. So it's really well worth practicing that balancing exercise. And there are, as I said, there are many, many more which you can practice, which really will help in your day-to-day life. If you have good balance by doing these exercises, then just as you're generally moving around, your balance will be good also. So those are the exercises in terms of helping to improve and maintain your bone density. There are many Qigong exercises out there that you can perform around this area. Lots and lots of them are based on working with the kidney qi, the kidney energy, because kidney is the system that's most closely connected with our bones and our bone marrow in terms of Chinese medicine. So I do hope you enjoyed this class today. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me. My email is janice@spacetorelax.com, or you can post a comment or a question in our Facebook group, which is Space to Relax Free Qigong Group. You'll find me there. Also, please invite your family and friends to join these classes. They're free of charge. But if you feel as though you would like to donate, half the proceeds go to our nurses and staff in the ICU ward here in my local hospital. The other half go towards the upkeep of the website. So the donation link is in the replay that will be next to this video. And really, if you have any questions at all, please just ask me. And if there's anything you want to see in terms of topics or areas that you'd like me to cover in these free classes, please just get in touch. I'm open to suggestions. And if there's a video that I haven't made already around the subject that you want, then I'm happy to make one for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next class, everyone. If you enjoyed this Qigong lesson, then there are 4 things you can do right now. The first thing is to head over to my website, which is spacetorelax.com, and there you'll see that you can join up for a free 3-part video series. The second thing you can do is click the link next to this video to sign up for the live Qigong classes, as I teach these once a week. The third thing you can do is go over to Facebook if you're on Facebook and look for Space to Relax Free Qigong Group. That's my free group where you can post any questions, and please do join the group. And the fourth thing is, if you're watching this video on YouTube, then please hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson and look forward to seeing you in the next video.